Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world. This is Howie, and I'm here to help you win with money. Today is February 7th, 2022. We are on the first trading day of week number 6. In this particular video, I'm actually going to show the transactions of the last 3 weeks. I haven't created a video for my weekly transactions, so that's what I'm going to do. And if I have time, I may do a trade. But really, this video is focused on the last 3 weeks and all the results that I had. Before I go on, if you're on Facebook, join me at Facebook group Investing 102. This is where you can level up your investment thinking. So the next step is to load up ETrade. I'm going to go into my transaction history. The good thing is you can always just select the date of what transactions I want to load in. And then I paste everything into my spreadsheet. And here you go. I actually took some time to do all my editing. So you can see I have week number 2 data here. Week 3 is a light blue. Week 4 is lighter blue. And then I went with this really dark color for week number 5. So there you go. I got all the data in. I put in all my extra, and I'll show you this real quick. I have some extra fields that I use to help me with pivot tables. Did my 2, 3, 4 strategy, so that should be listed over here now. If you see this, you can see whenever I do an SPY 2, 3, or 4, I will now have all the supporting data pretty easy in my filtering. I'm going to go to the very top of my spreadsheet. The fastest way I do that is do this. Now I'm going to hit refresh. You see what I mean? I haven't refreshed this spreadsheet in so long, since the 14th. So I want to hit refresh. And let's see if all my data is right. Now I need to bring in 1 extra month. So I need to bring in something like that. Hit refresh there. It is still Q1, so we're good there. And then the next thing I'm going to do is just go to the pivot by month. I'm going to hit the refresh on this one here. And there you go. Now I got all the monthly data in. Now I do want to fix this because I don't need to bring in Q4 anymore, because that's from last year. So we'll undo that. We only need this year's data. And that's what it's showing you right now. Let's just take a quick look at that. Let me just hit refresh to make sure. Okay, so let me go fix this, because what happened is normally I do these videos weekly, but because I'm doing it for multiple weeks, I actually got to rebuild this chart manually. So let me take some time to rebuild this. I need to figure out how many trades I did in week 3, week 4, and week 5. So if you look at the numbers for the yearly, it's saying my current yearly P&L is 791.29. And if you see, if I hit the refresh button, this number is accurate. So I went back and I added the week number. This way, if you do this, the number should add up, and there you go, to 791.29. And then I went and I updated all of these numbers, and you will see now this is accurate. So my running P&L is on week number 5, 791.29. And you can see what happened. And I actually remember what happened. You see there's some big losses here. I believe this was the Tesla loss. There was a really big loss here. Tesla prior to earnings. I was playing it maybe 2 days before, and I remember it went past my I had a put credit spread, and it went past both the short put and the insurance part of my leg. This loss was from the S&P, if I remember correctly. Hang on 1 second, let me just scroll to the date. The date is on the 18th. If I remember this correctly, this was the week where S&P was moving sharply down, and I ended up rolling or closing a Iron Condor and S&P 500, and I took a bigger loss than I wanted, but I figured it was better to take a loss early and then just set it, and then I created a new Iron Condor, and I think it was almost 57 or 60 days out, and it expired sometime in March 18, I think. But I did that because I knew that if I closed it early, I was going to reduce some of the pain especially during that volatile week. And I didn't know the market was going to bounce back up. Now in week 5, I think we had maybe 5 of the last 6 were up days, but I didn't predict that, right? The markets were downtrending, so I needed to adjust my positions. So far, this is not a good start for this year. Compared to last year, which is over here, I was already up $6,000 by this time last year. So this is what you can see. I'm going to compare it from a number of trades point of view. I am actually behind again. But again, this year I'm not forcing myself to do 1,500 or 2,000 trades. So let's talk about some of the trades in detail. Okay, I put a filter on 234, and you can see. Let's see if I made money or not. Last week in the 234, if you just do this, I made $230. The week before that, I didn't do anything in week number 3, but in week 4, but in week 3, you can see I made $41, and in the 234 prior to that, I made $250, and then if you look at it from the beginning of the year, so now we're looking at 234 for the whole year, we're up to $977. So you see the 234 method, I'm actually making more money trading Iron Condors. And what that means is I'm actually losing money on other stuff. And again, I told you I lost money on Tesla trade. I lost some money on some other high risk trade that, again, I was playing near earnings and it didn't go in my direction. Next, put a filter on Riot blockchain. And there's a couple things you'll notice. So this is what I did all year. And you'll see that in week number 4, I actually did a buy right. And it was because Riot hit 1539, it was downtrending. And I think the low was like 13 and change. So I definitely missed the bottom. But I did buy this and then put a cover call on it. In order for us not to look at the things that will skew the data, we're only looking at options trading. So let's see how much money I made. If you look at the beginning of the year, which is over here, week 1, you'll see that I made $378 just trading Riot. And on Riot, I actually do both sides. I do a cash secure put and I'm doing a cover call. Now, cover calls are making me money because Riot has dropped. My cash secure puts are not making me money right now because it actually is losing money. But how I'm making money on this particular trade. So let me explain this. Here you go. Went back to Yahoo Finance, typed in Riot for today. You see Riot is doing really well recently. Now remember I just showed you that I bought some new shares at $15 and change. Well, you see now I'm already up on those particular shares. And here's the 1 month trend. And if you look at the 6 month trend, you see Riot was going down. So I added another 100 shares at 15 and change. I missed the bottom, which is about 13 and a half. But again, you don't need to be precise. This is the beauty of options. You're using options to make you money every week or every other week or whatever your time frame is. So let's go back to what I was doing. So when Riot blockchain was going down, you see what I'm doing? I'm rolling all my cover calls down and out, mostly down and out. Now that Riot looked like it bottomed, it's time for me to roll these things up now. I don't want to be caught with $15 or $16 cover calls. It's time for me to roll these up. But as you can see, Riot blockchain trade has been going really well, even in the 5th week. I don't have a lot of money in this. And I only had about 200 shares and 2 cover calls. That's why I added another one in week 4, because I see that there's some potential to make some money by buying the shares at $15 and then trading. Now I have free cover calls. And again, even if I'm adding $10, $15, $13, whatever it is, for each cover call, and then I was going to make a few bucks on some of the cash secure puts. At the end of the year, I'm hoping to hit about $4,000 to $5,000 in profit using my Riot blockchain. So let's talk about the next trade. I put a filter on Fastly, and you can see again, Fastly has not gone the way I expected. Fastly has been moving the same way like Zoom or even like, I don't want to say Facebook, but Fastly had dropped more than 50%. There's a lot of NASDAQ 100 stocks that have done really poorly this year. And in my case, it's the same thing. So I've been rolling down and out and rolling down. And you can see I've been dropping my prices a lot. I started with $60 for my my cover calls, and I'm all the way down to like 33 now. The problem with that is my cash secured puts are now in the money, so it will have this weird look. But if you look at it from a yearly point of view, I am still up. I made $160 there. I'll still make money, but it's going to be slower and less than I thought. So let's look at the next trade. I wanted to talk about my losing trade in Tesla. This was not a cash secured put, by the way. This was a credit spread. So I want to fix that. That's the good thing about memorizing every trade. By the time I got rid of this, the shares were like I think it was like 870 or 860. And look at the cost of this. This trade lost me $1,700 in week number 4. So I knew I was going to lose money. You see, I noted that. Like I said, I'm not here to hide stuff. I log every trade that I make. And I'll show you how I started. In week 1, things were going really well with credit spreads. I made $100 that week. Then I made 100, and then there was 150 by the second week, and then by the third week I was at 260. So you see, I was adding small money every week, and it was a fairly stable trade. And then again, I was playing it into earnings, and I thought I was safe enough. I was picking like maybe a 4 delta or 5 delta, and obviously I was not far enough. And so my total year to date is, in Tesla, I lost $1,473. Again, I'm not here to hide my trades. I talk about everything that I do. So let's look at another trade. EA has been, I don't want to say uneventful. EA was dropping. Then I rolled down the cover call to a 135. And then when the buyout announcement happened with Microsoft buying out Activision, I then rolled it back up. And then the earnings came bad. It looked like shares dropped, and then now is recovering again. So in EA, I've been actually trying to roll up. I believe that once the news is priced into the whole Activision stuff and EA and all the other gaming stuff, like Sony's buying a gaming business, I'm going to keep on rolling up. I think EA is trading at like 137 or 138 today. And we'll go back to Yahoo Finance and we'll check in real time. EA, okay, so you can see that it's actually down a little bit today. But if you look at the last 5 days, you see this? It was really bad, and then it started shooting back up. So I was trying to stay ahead of the news. And because I own EA, I want to make sure I stay ahead of it. I want to make sure I'm always rolling my cover call ahead of the current market price. And then this week I made $5, and then the week before that I made another $19. But by monitoring it and adjusting your position, it adds up over the year. I can probably make, let me just look at the forecast, something like this. You can make $400 or $500 just by owning 100 shares, and another $400 or $500 by the end of the year just by rolling it. And I hope that EA will finish the year at about $145, $150. So you make money by holding the shares, and then I make money by playing the options. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is SOFI. You can see SOFI has really not gone my direction. SOFI has actually dropped after hitting $24, I believe. So let's take a quick look. Yeah, you see, almost touched 25. And if you look at the last month chart, it's been horrible. It just took a massive drop. After hitting about $25, it just started going straight down. So with SOFI has been really difficult to play. And I think the low is close. You know, we're actually, I think the low has been in, and that we're going to start uptrending. So if you look at the 1 month chart, I think we're starting to uptrend. So from a options point of view, I've just been rolling down and out for a lot of my cover calls. I also been rolling my cash secured puts down and out. And you see, I haven't really made a lot of money in this. So SOFI has not panned out yet so far in week 5. And I've been playing it all year. And if you look at this total, I made $28 for the whole year. Not a good trade so far. But again, I actually did buy more shares of SOFI also. If you look at this here, I put the stock in there so you can see it. Okay, I fixed it. So I put the filter on SOFI. I put the options as stock. Now this is correct now. I bought 200 shares. You see this? When I saw a value I actually added more shares to this. So this is going to take some time to play out. So let's do a live trade. Even though this is my week number 5 summary. Again, this is week number 6 now. But I want to show you what I was going to do. Because I show you that Riot was touching $19 or $18, I'm not going to wait for this to play out. So this expires in 4 days. So there is some value to the stock. So what I want to do is, because I'm not into predicting the time frames, I'm okay with saying let's push this, let's roll this up $1 and out 1 week. And look at this. I actually will make profit on this regardless of what happens. But if you do this even a week before it expires, who cares what happens? If Bitcoins go back down, I make money. If Bitcoin go, and there you go. So I made money on Riot. And then I have another Riot here. So let's see what else I can do. So this is how rolling, I don't have to wait until the option expire worthless. So now I have 2 of them on February 18th out of 20. So this one is now going to be in the money. I can start rolling this one also and see how much I can make. So this one, you see, it's not worth it for a really small credit. So what I would like to do is I may have to roll it up 2 weeks and let's try $19. If I can get $9 or $10 for it, then it may be worth it. Again, I'm worried that blockchain is starting to do is move up, and I need to try to get ahead of it. So let's try, we'll start at like $13, and then we'll move it down closer to the bid until it gets sold. But this is what I'm trying to do, is protect myself. And there you go, that one went across. Also. So the last 2 I don't need to do anything with. I'm already moving it up. You can see that in my Riot, I'm now at, I need to start moving these things up. My puts are in the money, so these I need to roll down. But you see how much time is left? It's a May 20th, so this is about 3 months out. It makes no sense for me to roll this now, because I would need to roll this down to like a 32. And for right now, you see, there's no value in it. And the only way I would make money is if I roll it all the way down. Let's see what's available. So you can't even do that. Like a 32. But this is way too far. So I'm not going to do something like this. But I need to roll. So the cover calls need to be going up. My puts need to be going down. The goal is to make money on every trade. So that does it for my weekly summary. Please comment below. Share this video. Let me know how you're doing so far this week or this year. And you see, I had a horrible start this year. I started with 2 positive weeks. I was up 2,600, and then the last 3 weeks for me have been pretty horrible. Now it's time to rebuild, play a little bit more conservative. I know that the market's going to move more than average this year. It seemed like there's a lot more volatility, especially on the downside. But don't forget, markets are unpredictable. You may think, okay, there's some downside risk. Doesn't mean we can't move up, and we saw that last week. So what I'm going to do is play a little bit more conservative in the short term, and we'll see how the markets play out. And then follow me every week as you see my profit or losses, and then you will see how I adjust my strategy. With that being said, thank you again for watching. Thank you for just supporting me in my channel. Give me a like, a comment. Let's do this together. Let's do this $1 at a time. Have a profitable day. Bye-bye.